Us humans fight a lot. You think you're fighting about this, but you're not. Maybe it's toilet paper, maybe it's dishes, maybe it's politics, maybe it's who let the dog on the couch or who's to blame for the entire economy. Small fights, big emotions. We get caught up fighting about all these things when really something much deeper, much older is happening inside us. Every one of us carries two powerful opposing drives. One is the survival drive. Protect yourself, stay safe, stay right, stay alive. The other is the connection drive. Open your heart, reach, trust, attach. Both are wired deep into the brain to keep us alive. And because we are a social species, our survival has always depended on one another as much as on food or shelter. In our earliest days, we hunted in groups, kept watch together, huddled for warmth. But today, instead of drawing strength from connection, we often retreat. We wall ourselves off from people who are different and cling to the safety of our own opinions. But here's the catch. The brain always prioritizes survival. When stress hits, fight or flight is triggered, and the brain cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and an emotional one. And in this world of endless notifications and never-ending to-do lists, this survival bias means we lean away from connection just when we most need to lean in. And the medical and psychological research is clear. Connection is not a luxury, it is critical to our health. Disconnection is making us sick. How does this happen? Think of a time when you reached out, not physically, but emotionally. Maybe you needed comfort, reassurance, just to feel seen. And they missed it. They brushed you off, talked over you, or didn't even notice. That small feeling of disconnection, that tiny panic in your body, that's your survival brain lighting up like a fire alarm. It does this whether we're fighting about toilet paper or about something that actually matters. When we feel unseen or unsafe, the amygdala, the fear detector in our brain, activates. Stress hormones flood our system. Our heart rate spikes. The body responds with fight, flight, or freeze. It does this over big things or small things. It doesn't care if it's your life or your pride at stake. And it gets even trickier because none of us walk into adulthood fresh and clean. We carry the emotional maps drawn in our earliest relationships. Maps of whether it's safe to reach, safe to trust, safe to love without putting ourselves in danger. The parts of the brain assessing are not very good at discerning between actual threat and funky wiring. So we recreate the old survival strategies automatically without even knowing it. So when we lose it at our partner for hanging the toilet paper wrong, we feel justified, even though our behavior looks and feels unhinged. Our relationships are actually made up of three distinct entities: you, me, and us. Each one has needs. Each one must be tended to. When the me screams louder than the us, our relationships falter. When the us crushes the me, we lose ourselves. Balancing all three, that's not the work of falling in love. That's the work of staying in love. And this staying in love could be your literal partner in life, that friend you count on, or the colleague you need to get the work done. This falling in love is also the rush of a deep emotional, intellectual, or creative connection that works. And the disconnection is not just happening in our homes or workplaces. It's happening on a massive scale all around us. Political sectarianism, that toxic mix of othering, disgust, and moral superiority, regardless of which side of the political aisle you stand on, is now a powerful threat to each of us and our families and communities. We retreat and avoid anyone who might think, feel, or vote differently than us. The disconnection grows, and it harms all of us. How did we get here? We don't just disagree anymore. We dehumanize them. We don't think they're wrong. We believe they're dangerous. When we lose the ability to imagine the humanity of the other, we lose the ability to stay connected to anyone, even to ourselves. There are dangerous decisions being made around the world that threaten real people. But when we make enemies of those that see those decisions differently than us, when we can't talk and listen and learn from each other and see each other's humanity, we threaten something else, our own well-being. We're doing this everywhere, over big things and small things. We've lost the ability to hold difference without making someone the enemy. And when we choose being right over staying in connection, we lose a piece of ourselves. And here's what that's costing us. Loneliness isn't just painful. Loneliness is so painful, it is actually lethal. Loneliness is so painful, it is actually lethal. All the medical and psychological research illustrates how loneliness impacts our health, our blood pressure, our immune system, even our productivity. Some research even draws the comparison that loneliness is as harmful to our health as smoking nearly a pack of cigarettes a day. It weakens our immune system. It increases our risk for heart disease, dementia, and depression. All that research inspired the Surgeon General to do a study on the impact of loneliness in 2023 and to call it a public health risk. Loneliness shortens our lives. Meanwhile, what do we see every day? Perfect smiles on social media, best friend game nights, happy couples strolling in the sunset, community celebrations. The serotonin boost we get scrolling that influencer's gorgeous wedding, that perfect meal, those friends on the golf course. We feel a part of something. We feel connected. But what is actually happening is addictive and disconnecting. We connect to the vision of happiness. We disconnect from reality and each other. What we don't see, the hurt feelings after the fight between that couple on the beach, the awkward silence at dinner tables, the unspoken grief in locker rooms. We curate connection. We live the messy reality. And that's not a flaw. That's just us being human. That's just us navigating our messy, painful lives in this messy, scary world. So fear, division, and disconnection are all around us. We don't fight survival instincts with aggression. We don't fix disconnection with blame. We don't heal othering by winning. So what can we possibly do? We interrupt these cycles through 3 small, powerful acts: curiosity, compassion, and connection. Curiosity. Curiosity is the practice of interrupting those automatic responses by pausing to consider, to understand that other person's inner world. Curiosity opens the door to empathy. Curiosity softens the sharp edges of judgment. When that mechanic quotes you double or that colleague cuts you off, survival brain says attack. Curiosity says, there's more to this person than the story in my head. Curiosity pulls us out of certainty and brings us back into our humanity. Compassion. Compassion is the effort to recognize suffering and to respond with care. Compassion melts the ice of anger and fear. Compassion creates the possibility for repair and connection between 2 people at war. When the neighbor lashes out at community meetings or that stranger online spews hate, it is tempting to armor up. Survival brain says, you are my enemy. Compassion says, I see your pain and I recognize your humanity, even if I don't agree. Compassion interrupts reactivity and creates the space for possibility. Connection. Connection is the choice, over and over, to prioritize the we alongside the me. Connection creates safety, resilience, and intimacy between people, no matter how different. Connection refuses to let go of the us. In marriage, this looks like staying at the table when you'd rather walk away. In community, this looks like remembering that the person that voted the wrong way is still your neighbor. Connection says, you're a person too, and we can be in connection, even if you voted for the toilet paper facing backwards. This isn't easy work. It's daily work. It's humbling work. It's the choice again and again to lean toward love instead of survival, to lean toward what connects us and how much we need each other to move forward in health, in friendship, at work, in community, in nations. After all, we aren't changing minds by fighting about how awful the other people are. We're only hurting each other and ourselves. Now, think of a time when you reached out and someone met you. A hand on your back, a smile across a crowded room, a shared laugh, a quiet nod that said, "You've got this." Feel that lift, that warmth? That's connection activating in your body. And it's available to us again and again and again if we choose it. Anytime with your closest friend, your partner, or that neighbor with the political flags that make your blood boil, you can choose it. Because connection is not a luxury, it is survival. We do not have to wait for a crisis, a natural disaster, or another fight about toilet paper or a candidate to remember what matters. We do not have to lose each other or lose ourselves. We can choose it today, tomorrow, or any day after. Here's what I'm asking of you. 3 simple choices that will transform your relationships and ripple into the world around you. Choose curiosity over judgment. The next time survival brain flares, pause and ask, what else could be true here? Choose compassion in action. Extend care without requiring agreement. Notice someone's pain and name their humanity. Choose to protect the us. In marriage, in friendship, in community, fight for the shared us when conflict comes. Remember, connection is possible no matter how different you are. Connection is health. Connection is survival. Because at the end of the day, it was never really about the toilet paper. It is about whether we will keep choosing each other.